So, right, I am now officially free of all mud. I'm clean, I am well rested. Let's do this. Hello there! So I went to my very first major music festival on Sunday. And what better festival than Download 2016? And it was incredible. It was seriously one of the best experiences musically that I've had so far in my lifetime. There were lots of amazing bands, really good people, good food, good beer. I mean, what more could you want? Okay, maybe one thing that I would have wished for was less rain. It was incredibly muddy. I mean, my walking boots will probably never be the same again. But I didn't let a little bit of mud dampen my spirits. No pun intended. You know what? I'm gonna intend that pun. That was a good pun. If it ain't punny, it ain't funny. Moving on. So the main reason I went to Download in the first place was to see my musical icons, Iron Maiden. It still hasn't actually sunk in that I've actually seen them live. Until I look back at all my phone footage and I'm just like, I can't believe I saw them live! Oh! I mean, seeing this band live meant so much to me. And this is because my parents used to see them all the time when they were growing up, like 30 years ago. And I was super jealous that I never got to see them yet, but not anymore, because I saw them live and they were exactly how I imagined them to be. I mean, they were awesome. So back 30 years ago, when my parents used to see them quite a lot, they used to play at a place in Norfolk, of all places, called West Runton Pavilion. And it wasn't just Maiden who played there. Black Sabbath used to play there, Sex Pistols, Saxon, Motorhead. I mean, my dad used to work there. My dad used to do the light rigging and he used to help the bands with their stuff sometimes. He met with Ozzy Osbourne, who bought him a couple of beers for saying thank you for helping at the end of the night. He spoke to Bruce Dickinson a few times. He met Lemmy from Motorhead a few times, which I am super jealous of because, as most of you know, earlier this year he sadly passed away. So anyway, seeing Iron Maiden live was a very sort of full circle thing, I guess. I mean, it was kind of like I was being handed like a massive family heirloom, like, here you go, rock your damn socks off, son. But unfortunately, I don't think that my kids will be able to see them live. I mean, the name Iron Maiden might be passed on to like different members, so yeah, unfortunately my kids won't be able to see the original lineup, but I will tell them all about them. So they'll be like, Daddy, who's Iron Maiden? Well, grab your cocoa, son, because this is going to be one hell of a story. That's kind of the vision I had in my head about what I'd say. So whilst I was waiting for Iron Maiden to come on, they were the last band of the evening. They came on at like 10 to 9. So I had a few hours to kill, so I was going to watch a few other bands. I mean, why wouldn't you? It's a music festival. Most notable for mainly the stage show was the Swedish Viking metal band called Amor Amarth, and they were so cool. I mean, they had proper pyrotechnics, they had like a massive stage show. I mean, they had like a backdrop of a Viking warship, and on stage they had these Vikings like dragon statues, and they had smoke coming out of their mouths, and they had like pyrotechnics from one end of the stage to the other, which was super cool. And the lead singer brought out this Mjolnir prop. That's the Hammer of Thor, for those of you who don't know what that is. See? I know things! So he sort of brought that out and put it up in the air over his head and was like, yeah, hardcore, mother. And he sort of swung it like that, and as he hammered it onto the ground, it was like a massive explosion. There was like sparks going like, pow! And everyone was like, yeah! So that was a really nice touch. I loved that. That was one of the best stage show things that I saw of the day, apart from Iron Maiden. So another band that I saw who I was really quite impressed with was this band from Scotland? I think. The guy had like a Scottish accent, so I assume they're from Scotland, I don't know. And they were called the Temperance Movement. They were sort of like heavy rock sort of thing. They weren't quite metal. They were like really like quite heavy rock sort of sound. Best way to I guess the comparison would be to like Paul Weller, maybe, but slightly heavier. I don't know. They were cool, and the frontman was really energetic. It kind of reminded me of Mick Jagger. Look at how he sort of like lost his cool all over the stage, and just yeah, he really gave it his all, and it was brilliant. He had a really good voice, really good band. Cool band. Check out the Temperance Movement, people. Yeah. Also, a band that I really was impressed with was Hailstorm, and they were really cool. And the front lady had a brilliant voice. I mean, she could get to really high, like shrieking metal notes, and she could hold the notes for like 1 whole minute, and it was just like, brilliant. And it was also nice to see a front woman on stage, on the main stage at Download Festival. I mean, compared to a lot of metal bands, there aren't really that many female lead singers. I mean, I know you've got like Nightwish, and you've got Evanescence, Paris, the Marmozets, and so there is slightly more progress, but there's still a massive male dominance in terms of like lead singers of bands. I'm not going to get into that argument now. I'm not going to get into the sort of like battle of the sexes, front woman versus front man. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to get into that because I don't want to. All I'm saying is that it's just nice to see a really strong female presence in the heavy rock metal industry, which is awesome. And the band were really good, and they have some really good songs. That's all I'm saying. I'm not getting into that argument now. So, as well as awesome music, there were some really awesome people there too. I mean, everybody who I passed sort of like said hi, or like gave a nod, or some people even did the yeah sort of face in, like as I went past, and some of them even stopped to ask how I was and who I was with, and I said I'm on my own, which made me feel really lonely and pathetic. But I wasn't on my own for long, because I found my friend Kerry, who I haven't seen since uni, so it was good to catch up with her, and she was able to cover up with a few other people as well. So shout out to Dan, Fliss and George, who were there with Kerry, and especially shout out to Fliss, who let me borrow a $5 to buy a burger at the end of the night because I ran out of money. So thank you so much, Fliss. I owe you a beer next time I see you. Yay! So that was my experience of Download 2016, and I couldn't fault it. Apart from the mud, which pretty much ruined my walking boots, but that was nothing compared to the experience I had. Things that I will probably do next time is that I will probably stay for the full weekend, because I only got to see the band on the main stage, so maybe next time it'll be nice to go to like the encore stage, to like see a few other bands that were there, because I only got to see the ones on the main stage. And also, maybe camp? I heard horror stories that a lot of the camps got flooded because of the amount of rain, so unless they get like a tent with stilts on them or something, I probably won't camp. But yeah, I highly recommend Download. So if you ever want to go to a music festival next year and you like your rock music, go to Download. Save your money, forget everything else, go to Download, you will not regret it. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. And follow me on Twitter, and follow me on Snapchat as well for some weird stories that I do sometimes if I get bored. So yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye! Now, not all 360 games work on Xbox One, but Microsoft are adding games each and every month. So, and I've recently seen that